Rachel Ray, I know you're probably not listening to this, but if you're listening to this, I love you. Come make me snacks. You can't see the smile, but it's there.
She doesn't bake things because she doesn't like
She can't do it
measuring.
in 30 minutes.
That's okay. She makes awesome snacks without baking. And in 30 minutes or less.
Mm-hmm.
From Ask Reddit. This is such a great question. What goes from great to awful if you add almost in front of it?
Oh.
Like, for example, his bungee jump was, or his skydive, that's a better example. His skydive was almost successful.
That was all.
Okay, we can't use any of these. We can't put these in there.
You girls.
Okay.
You girls.
That bris was almost successful.
We almost got all of the cancer.
Oh, that's just sad.
We almost remembered all the kids from the grocery store.
He almost lived.
That robbery was almost successful.
Well, I guess it depends which side you're on of that one.
Yeah.
That's good for the cops, bad for the
Bad
robbers.
for the robber. It was almost for the robber, which makes it meh.
Why are you sympathizing with robbers?
I don't know.
Have you been stealing from us?
Wine.
This wine is almost drinkable. I also like adding sort of.
Sort of.
Yeah, like it's a boy. Sort of.
Yeah, that's sort of is basically the same thing, just on the other end.
Yeah, which makes it better because it's the pause.
You're
Sorta.
gonna live.
Sorta.
Sorta.
Almost chocolate.
Almost chocolate.
Ugh.
Oh, that makes me
That
sad.
makes me want real chocolate.
It's almost chocolate.
That was almost beer.
It's chocolate. Sorta.
Yeah.
It's beer. Sorta.
Sorta.
Definition.
That plane
Oodles.
almost made it to the airport.
Oh. Oh.
I almost made it to the toilet.
I made it to this toilet. Sorta.
I think I came to the bathroom after you one time.
So, how about some weird news where somebody almost got away and almost got to the bathroom?
Oh, no.
So, Tracy Stevens, 50, and sometimes I like to emphasize the age because it's an age at which they should have known better, of Florida, answered nature's call on November 25th by stopping her car in the middle of County Road 232 and stepping outside. A Florida highway patrolman took notice as he had been searching for her following her involvement in a two-car collision in a parking lot earlier that day. She subsequently underperformed on a field sobriety test. That is a
Underperformed.
Stevens almost passed her field sobriety test.
Almost. She passed.
And-
Sorta.
And she was arrested for driving under the influence and leaving the scene of an accident. How going to the bathroom on the side of the road is not included in that at that point.
I don't think going to the bathroom on the side of the road is illegal unless somebody actually witnesses you. Then it's indecent exposure.
It's illegal.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen a law.
Cows do it all the time.
Cows do it. Dogs do it. Birds do it. She sounds like a real winner.
Yeah. I mean, considering that, she had already been in a hit and run earlier that day, you would think she would have been picking her actions a little wiser.
I think maybe somebody was on a bender and just kept going.
It might be.
That's what it
I
sounds
think,
like to me.
I think
Because, that sounds like a drunk pee.
I think that she thought she was playing Mario Kart and she peed on the side of the road because she clearly thought that she was leaving a trap for the drivers behind her.
Like a banana.
It was like a
the
banana
peel.
except it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And so...
It's an oil slick sort of thing.
Oil slick.
Oh.
No, so that's, I think I think that's what happened.
Well, this reminds me of the world's worst superhero, Florida Man.
Florida Man.
I was going to ask if she was related to Florida Man.
I don't know. But
actually.
while we're at it, let's go ahead and roll these next two stories in because they're both from Florida as well.
All right.
Woohoo.
Florida Man's on a roll.
Workers at Captain Hiram's Sandbar in Sebastian, Florida, resorted to calling police on November 17th when customer William Oliveri, 63, refused to leave the bar after a night of drinking. Oliveri told Sebastian police he had arrived by boat, but when a quick walk down by a nearby dock failed to uncover the boat, he said perhaps he had driven himself to a bar in a black Hyundai. Throughout the interview with police, he maintained that he was in downtown Melbourne, Florida, which is where he lived, even though he was clearly in Sebastian, Florida. And he was finally arrested on a charge of disorderly intoxication. But I love that idea of, I came on a boat.
Yeah.
How did you get here?
Well, maybe I drove.
Maybe I drove.
How did you get here? A boat. Sorta.
Which, I mean, leads to the question, was there a black Honda? It doesn't say in here. I would love to know that there was not, that car wasn't there
Or
either. And
that
then
maybe he just didn't tie up his boat and it floated away.
Well, I was going to say, did they go the opposite direction on the shore? Maybe he just went the wrong way and the boat was there.
Yeah.
But
Right.
Yeah.
I now, in my mind's eye, I'm picturing this where there was no boat, there was no car. How did he get there?
how did you get here? A boat.
He
No, wait.
magically
A
appeared.
car. Okay, fine. You got it out of me. It was the stinking TARDIS, okay?
He rode a horse.
TARDIS would have been cool.
TARDIS would have been cool.
Riding a horse, not as cool.
I'm not
It's
really
I
a
don't know.
horse.
It's a little slower.
I'm
but
actually a broomstick.
I'm not horse.
one more from Florida for the Florida Man hat trick here. Sumter County, Florida sheriff's deputies were dispatched to the Villages on November 19th, where resident Lori Jo Matthews, 60. All of these people should know better. Anyway. Sorry. 60-year-old woman reportedly barked at her neighbor's dogs, then entered her neighbor's yard, yelling at the neighbor, and finally slapping the neighbor after being told to leave. Deputies caught up with Matthews after she attempted to enter her own home, where she was handcuffed and arrested on charges of battery and resisting arrest. Alcohol may have been involved.
May have been involved. Okay, so to be fair, the first thing, when you said that she had barked at her dog, my first thought was, well, what's wrong with that? I bark at my dog all the time.
She barked at her neighbor's
But she
dog.
barked at her neighbor's dog. But I bark at dogs all the time.
I do that too.
It's funny. But
They bark at me and I bark
but then you said she started yelling at the neighbor, and I was like, oh yeah, now I see where you might be going with this, because that's not nice. And then she hit her neighbor, and I was like, oh, well, that's why she's in trouble.
This was
back. And
she's
this has been Drunk Recap
This-
with Wife of Keelan.
this story was quite a journey for you, wasn't it?
it was. But my question is, why didn't they specify whether or not she was drunk? Because alcohol was clearly a factor.
I don't know.
Or maybe it was meth.
Maybe it was meth.
Maybe it was
it's
Maybelline.
Maybelline.
I love that we thought of that at the same time. Power fist. Wonder Twin powers. Activate.
Power of, or form of singing jingles. That's what we do.
Okay. This question might get a little more serious, depending on how realistic we want to go with it. But I thought it was a great question. If you could sit down with your 15-year-old self, what would you tell him or her?
Oh my gosh, so many things.
Oh, how much time do we have?
If somebody comes up to you and tells you they're a vampire, run.
There's a story behind that.
I
There
hope so.
actually is.
Because what a weird thing to tell yourself.
My ex, this is one of the reasons why he's an ex. my ex liked to pretend that he was a vampire. Not in the way you might think. He'd have a conversation with me as though he was in character as a vampire. So there's that.
Winner.
15-year-old self, don't take...
The red pill.
Yes. Don't take the red pill.
Ignorance is bliss. Yeah.
You think you want to be a teacher, you're going to hate that. Don't waste all of your financial aid on going down that path. You want to be a nurse. Go do that.
I would tell my 15-year-old self to not stop the piano lessons.
Good one.
Good job.
Yes.
For me, I would have to go tell myself, hey, all these crazy things that you like, lean into it. Be proud of it.
Yeah.
Embrace the nerd.
Embrace the weird.
Your time is coming.
Yeah, one day your day will come, and it's very soon. Because I spent a lot of time kind of denying that nerd self to, try and, blend in with the quote unquote cool kids.
Yeah.
And man, I wish I had done it all differently now.
I used to pretend to be dumb because it wasn't cool to be a smart kid and be like a nerd. I used to pretend like I was an idiot around certain people when I was in junior high and high school.
Keelan, what would you tell your 15-year-old self?
I'm trying to think of what I would tell him that I could say out loud.
I got a couple that I would tell him, but I'm not going to say them.
Go to college. Probably the biggest thing.
Oh, and I would also tell my 15-year-old self that don't worry about the mean girl who beat you up in the hallway last week, because when you grow up, she's going to be one of your best friends on Facebook.
And your 15-year-old self will say, on what?
Yeah.
I think one of the things I would definitely say to myself would... Yes.
I'm sorry. I would tell myself about Facebook and invent Facebook.
You
Book
are
of
so
Faces.
brilliant. Wait. You get Facebook. Can I have MySpace?
Absolutely.
Hey, he made a lot of money.
He made a
selling
lot
that
of money
crap.
selling that. So, you know.
I think that, I would give myself some encouragement and be like, okay, so there's going to be a couple stupid guys that are going to break your heart, but you're going to meet this guy who's going to seem too good to be true, and you're just going to want to be friends with him, and eventually
He made this website that's super popular.
Yeah, and you should marry him before the money comes. That way you both have that money. So...
I've thought a lot about, if I could go back and change something or whatever. And the place I keep landing is, the butterfly effect.
Yeah.
Any little thing I do differently may completely change things. Mm-hmm. And, not everything's perfect, but I like where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
That's kind of, that's my thought too. I like my life.
I'm afraid if I changed anything that, we wouldn't be here.
See, my fear is you would go back and you would say something to yourself about you're going to get a job, like it's going to be the summer after your freshman year of high school. You're going to go to this town and you're going to meet this girl, and she's going to be the one you marry. Freshman year of college, sorry. And she's going to be the one you're going to marry, and it's going to be great. And you definitely need to go there. And then you would make the mistake of like finding some other chick. Butterfly effect. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change anything though, because I've made some really huge mistakes in my life. Like really big mistakes. But I feel like every single mistake that I've ever made was a lesson learned, and every single mistake that I've made was just kind of one more stepping stone on the pathway to where I'm at right now. And where I'm at right now is pretty darn good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as become the tradition now at this point, we're going to do one last story about stupid criminals.
Yay!
Yay!
And this is the best. This is the greatest thing I've ever read. Melissa Allen, 32. So that's still in that range where you probably should know better, but you're young enough.
Might not.
But anyway, was arrested on December 19th after attempting to shoplift more than $1,000 in merchandise from a Framingham, Massachusetts Target.
Oh my gosh.
On hand to help in the arrest were more than 50 police officers who were at the store to participate in the annual Shop with a Cop holiday charity event.
What a moron. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
The question I have is, what is she fitting on her person that costs $1,000 unless she raided the jewelry case or something?
Well, I don't know. I mean, the Pixie and Sonia Kashuk cosmetic lines are pretty expensive, so there's that.
You just go in with a big handbag and fill it up. Target's more expensive than Walmart because
This is true.
You pay more for Target so that you shop with people who are not dressed in pajamas.
Yes.
It's classier. That's why you pay more for Target.
Well, before we go, let's discuss what we've got going on outside of the 4NerdsCast.
We have something going on that we'll be launching soon.
Probably.
If it hasn't launched already.
If it hasn't launched already. Yeah. Do you want to go ahead and reveal the name?
No.
No?
No, we'll wait.
No, we'll wait. Okay.
Yeah, we'll wait till the
announce it.
next one when I think the gears will line up and everything will be up and going.
It'll be launched.
So, but we're excited about that. Not gonna lie, it gets a little rough right at the beginning.
Yeah, but
we're
stick with it.
We're
It
hitting
gets
the groove.
fun.
So,
It's awesome.
and what do y'all got going?
Two Mere Mortals on YouTube and Twitch.
Yes. YouTube, we have our MHC videos, which is Minecraft Hardcore Challenge, every Monday and Friday. We have our Fallout Fridays. And we have, what else we got going on? We have
Simple Life
2. So we know we have videos. We have videos 3 times a week.
And you're streaming?
Yep, streaming on Thursday nights.
So it's
7,
Twitch Thursdays?
Twitch Thursdays at 7 p.m., y'all.
Central.
Yes.
All right. Anything else?
And I have my vlog channel that y'all can head to if you are interested. It is The Jen Demos on YouTube. And I do some weight loss videos and some beauty videos and product reviews and all kinds of fun stuff like that. So if you're into that, check it out.
Awesome. Well, as always, we want to leave everybody with something to ponder. Just a little nugget to think about as you go about your week.
Things that make you go,
People who stand in the shower before turning it on. What's it like living on the edge?
Living on the edge.
Hope you enjoyed, and we will see you all next time on the 4NerdsCast.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Close the door. Close the door. Close the door. Hold the door.
Hold the
Hold
door.
the door.
Hold the door.
Hold the door.
Close
Hold the door.
Close door.
Saddest thing ever.